In keeping with my theme about how all our guitar lessons are building systematically and logically one upon the other, I want to do another idea with your scales. You're going to find out that all your information develops upon ideas you already knew, maybe just reiterates it, but always gives you another way to look at it and another way to utilize it on the instrument. It's not enough to know it theoretically, you actually have to apply it to really learn it. One of the things that we've learned from early on is that we know the natural notes in our first position. You learn the note names of the open strings, E, A, D, G, B, and E. Coming backwards, E, B, G, D, A, and E. We filled in all the notes. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are natural notes, so we're in the key of C. To make it sound like a C scale, you'd start on a C and run up and down from C. Using that, we saw that there's half steps between B's and C's, E's and F's, and that defines a major scale, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. We actually early on learned how that would affect a G scale if I start on this G. The F natural here in the key of C doesn't work as a leading tone in G, so we have to raise it to F sharp. We could find that out just by applying the whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half that we learned in C. We did the same with D. We could play a D scale and find out what the sharps are in there. We did that in one lesson, going through several scales, finding out what sharps go into each key, 1 in the key of G, 2 in the key of D, 3 in the key of A, etc. Last time we did it on open strings, because we know our strings so well, we know the G, D, A, and E strings, we can use that to organize our information. The G scale has an F sharp here. A fourth below, we're tuned in fourths, is the D string, or it's a fifth above. D has that F sharp and a C sharp. A fourth below that, or a fifth above, is A with 3 sharps. It has the F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. We noticed we're always finding our sharp at the end of the scale in the 11th, because that's where the leading tone is. So in E, we'd have the F sharp from the key of G, the C sharp from the key of D, the G sharp from the key of A, and a leading tone for the key of E, the D sharp. Now I want to bring that information down here into the open position and do our scales in 1 octave here. Another thing we learned earlier is that if we took an E chord, moved it up a fourth to an A chord, that second string note causes us to move up a fret, but otherwise the chord structure is the same. If I move that up a string, up a fourth to a D, again the note that encounters the second string has to move up into that triangle, but the chord structure is the same yet. So E's, A's, and D's have the same structure and the same inversions. They're based on an open string, then the fifth, then the root, then the third. But when I get to the third on the A, it's on the second string, so I have to move it up a fret. The root in the middle of the D chord has to move up a fret. So although those chords don't necessarily look alike to us, and we wouldn't get that information necessarily from looking just directly at them, we can actually tell after a little analysis that one can help you learn and remember the other. So I want to start on the E string and do a major scale. In your book, you probably have a C scale written on the inside cover that you practice every day, a G scale, maybe a D scale. Probably it's not the wisest in some senses to start at E because it has how many sharps? 4. So usually we'd want to come at it the other way, add a sharp as we go. But there's a reason I want to do this. So we know we have to go from E, up a whole step to F sharp, up a whole step to G, up a half step to A, but we don't have to go to this A, we have an A string for that. So again, I can go E, whole step to F sharp, whole step to G sharp, half step to A, 3 more whole steps, B, C sharp, not a half step to D or this open D, but a whole step to D sharp. Of course, that's a leading tone to this E. So the E scale has E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, E, tell yourself what you're doing. Repeat all of your information. So we're using the open E to start. The A is in there. This D is not. We use a D sharp. So there's one octave of your E scale based on your open E. We have an open A. Let's go up a fourth and do that one. We know from one idea how we get our sharps. We've learned in other scale building exercises how we get them. Maybe you already remember them. There's 3 sharps in the key of A: F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. I can just find those then by note names and relationships, or I can use whole steps and halves. This time I'm going to use the sharps that I know. So we said there's F sharp, G sharp, and C sharp. So here's open A. There's B. I'll use a C. Oh, no, I used C in A minor, you'll recall. In A, I need a C sharp. D, A, B, C, D. So I can go to D here, but I'll use the open string. A, B, C, D, E. F's are sharp, and G's are sharp. Oh, you sharp that by going to the first fret. Not open G, but first fret G sharp, the leading tone to A. So A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. Do you notice I'm doing exactly what I did when I did E? Just up a fourth. So this is, again, something we don't always glean on guitar. The way we learn it, how we master our first few strings, we run into the discrepancy of the strange tuning on the B string. Immediately our patterns are disrupted, so much so that people don't actually know there are patterns, so they don't look for them. If we did it this way, we would see that there is a pattern, and we'd start to learn by patterns. So I'm going to do a D scale. That didn't work. I tried the exact same thing. 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 1, 2. That worked on this scale. So I'll start on a D string and do it. Yes. D is encountering the second string. We have to change what we play there. So we can go D. We can put the B here as we've been putting the pinky out here on each. But those notes can't be first, second because they're on the second string shift. They're 2 and 3. Another change I'll make here is I'm not going to play the B out here with my pinky. I'll use the open B for now. Although both options are live and they both work. Either one there sounds great. So here I have the 3 scales I've done so far. I've removed the strings we're not doing. So on E, we have E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. I forgot to say G sharp, but there's 4 sharps: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. I move up a fourth to A, use the exact same pattern: A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So there's my 3 sharps: F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. E has 4. On the A string we have 3. On the D string we have 2. Same pattern: D, E, F sharp, G, A. I had the B out here at the 4th fret. I could not do a 1st fret, 2nd fret like I had before because we're on the 2nd string and they have to be shifted up. So C sharp and D are moved to the 2nd and 3rd fret. That means I've allowed the B to come onto that string as well. Probably a little more convenient to do so. For one main reason, I want it to look like this because of my next scale. The next scale you already know, and you would never have probably related the two, but I want you to see them then. So I went from an open E, 4 sharps, scale built on the open A, 3 sharps, scale built on the open D, 2 sharps, scale built on the open G. You already know it, you learned it early, 1 sharp. So we go G to A. Just like these went open 2 and 4, I could put the B out here, open 2 and 4. We don't though, because we have the option to reach this B. So we would have gone open 2, 4, open 2, 4. But when I go to do the 2nd string, I have to shift. So C would have been the equivalent of my open. Open 2, 4, open 2 would be this D. 4 is E way over there, but instead I put it on this string. So you can see what happens here is that second string has messed up all of our patterns, and it's highly unlikely that learning this one first, we would come here and go, oh yeah, that's exactly the same thing. Because this is different from this, and this is different from this, you may never see the patterns. Coming from the other end, we're more likely to see them. So on E, O, 2, 4, O, 2, 4, 1, 2, E, 4 sharps. Remember, you always want to tell yourself that, memorize that. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. A, same pattern, O, 2, 4, O, 2, 4, 1. 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Fourth string, D, scale has 2 sharps. We have the C sharp and the D in the second and third fret. I'm going to move that B to the open string. So I only have F sharp and C sharp there. Continuing the pattern, I'll move up to a G string, do the same thing. That is the exact same pattern. I did 3 notes on this string, O, 2, 4. I can't do O, 2, 4 on the next because of the shift. It's 1, 3, 5, and then 2, 3. But I'm going to utilize my open strings instead. I won't go to this B or this E, I'll use the opens. So you don't see quite the same pattern on your own probably, but you can tell it's the same. This string has O, 2, and 3, as did the second string in the D scale. So we can do G with 1 sharp, D with 2 sharps, A with 3 sharps, and E with 4. So that gives us another way of combining our knowledge, seeing how the strings can tell us which keys have which sharps, but also now seeing patterns and ways to play in the open position, and seeing again that this is always the same thing. This E scale is the same as that. So we'll leave that with those major scales. That gives us 4 of them. The main thing here is that we can use our guitar knowledge now to remember our sharps and flats, and we can also see our patterns that we can start moving around the guitar neck as well. Remember, if you know your strings, the key of G has 1 sharp. I don't know what has 2. It's this string though. Oh yeah, the D string has 2 sharps. Therefore the A string has 3. The E string has 4. This B string, we don't have it. Oh, it's here. Okay, it has 5. This pattern can work in other ways as well. We can move around and see what else it will do, but I'm going to leave it at that now. Take her easy, have fun, and we'll see you in the Hal Leonard, I hope, next time.